It's Louis Vandenberg here at NAMM 2020, KUCR, University of California, Riverside. And lo and behold, walking around, ran into somebody named Alex Breitman. And Alex, you got your start at KUCR. You were a student at UC Riverside. You came in, you applied, and then we said, you're cool. And there, anything to add to that basic summary?
I hope I'm still cool.
Yes. Yeah,
Thank you, Louis, for that confirmation.
Sure, I did.
I feel a lot better about myself.
You've had your ticket punched by the Padre.
That
okay.
mic drop. All right, interview's over.
Yeah.
It's official. I'm cool. No, really.
You've gone on. I mean, in so many of the aspects that was analog technology. You've grown into digital technology, but you also appreciate the old school, which we see here as well. So.
Yeah, here's any tip for anybody going to college or UC Riverside. You don't know what your future holds. I mean, you can have dreams and visions and work towards those goals, but you honestly don't know. And sometimes the route that you want to go is different than the route you think you're supposed to take. Like, you want to end up here, and you think this is the way to do it, and then this happens. So, being at college is like the best experience, one of the best experiences of my life, right? So I went to UC Riverside. I didn't know anybody. This is the height of Napster, and you probably don't even know what Napster was, but it was like a downloading service.
Yeah.
And everybody in the dorms would have
stealing music.
It was stealing music. Yeah. Everybody in the dorms would have a computer, and they were all torrenting or bit sharing or however that worked.
Because otherwise you had to buy a CD. I mean, this is before the companies got into streaming.
This is way before streaming, before Apple Music.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is really before Napster, music was really hard to come by. It was hard to listen to. It was hard to own. It was hard to be able to, you would buy a couple records, a couple CDs, and you would listen to them top to bottom, and that was like your whole experience for whatever that genre was. Like if I bought a drum and bass CD, I would play that thing top to bottom, and that was like, until I went and saw music live, that was like, would be my experience. So in high school, I was very, very diverse in my musical tastes, and I kind of fell in love with reggae, but I was always a hip hop head. I think it was about the year 99 or 2000 where I went to KUCR because I saw them on campus out of my friend's dorm room at the ANI.
Across
right?
the street.
Across the street, yeah. I was like, what the hell? We have you think that's just the coolest thing, because growing up in high school, all you could see is like a couple, MTV was one way that we listen to music, but there were some other bootleg, like college radio, public radio, public television shows that would play like eclectic music also.
But basically, KUCR was a door that you walked through that opened into other things, and actually leading from then to now, and then I run into you and you're doing the thing that was inspired, not only you, but it also inspired me. And I love audio and the use of audio technology. And so you're doing the same thing. You're teaching it now in Los Angeles. And you think it was just yesterday we attended a panel here with Roger Lynn, and he had a bunch of producers there, who worked with Prince and so on. And they're all praising him like, if it weren't for you in the Lynn drum machine, who you designed the MPCs, none of us would have had lives or careers. And it's interesting how those connections happen, and the doors are open we don't know are even doors.
Yeah, that's definitely the case with KUCR.
Yeah.
So when I started, I filled out the application, and they liked my playlist and my idea to have a reggae and hip hop show, which would like feature both. That was not really being played on like other radio shows, especially the hip hop. And then I was mixing, so I would go through the whole record collection because it was just super fascinating to hear all sorts of different music. And then when I was actually playing these things live, there was one 1200 Techniques 1200 on one side of the room, and there was another one on like the other side of the room.
Yeah, okay.
Remember that?
No,
it was
of
like there
course.
was this one that was like way over here, and then you got two over here.
Right.
So I remember like I would play one, cue it, play it, and then cue the other one, so that one comes in exactly, at the end of the first one.
Our 60th anniversary is next year in October. You have to be there.
I will be there.
Yeah.
I will be there, 100%.
But I mean, I think it was hip hop also plus KUCR that drew you, like the panel from last night. But anyway, I mean, we got to get on. But running into you is a wonderful experience, always.
Yeah. So I started DJing after being a DJ on KUCR, and that turns into me having an interest in like making music. Right, so you buy a bunch of the equipment and you learn how to do that, and then I'm like, okay, I'm a teacher. I was a sociology major, so what can you do with sociology? Not a whole lot. Great major, UC Riverside, thank you for that. But I also wanted to like tour during the summer, so I'm like, a teacher's a perfect job.
Right.
Everybody needs math teachers. Okay, fast forward, I had presented to me a plan to make a music production class on our campus. And it started out very small, but now I made a whole program. I don't teach math anymore, just music production in both the middle school and the high school.
One of the most popular
It
things.
is one of the most popular classes. Technology allows us to be able to do that now, which that was a dream when that would have been a fantasy for me to think about even recording music until recently.
Alex Breitman, you're the dream come true.
Louis, you're the dream. He makes dreams come true.
Yeah.
I might be the dream, but he made me come true.
Okay, all right. Anyway, thanks, man.
right,
and we'll
thanks,
see.
Louis.
We're going to have you as a guest of honor next year at the 60th anniversary
honored.
party. Yes, you'll be
I would
there,
be honored.
and you will be.